Tori Petrie here at the NFL Combine with CBS Sports' Will Brinson. Will, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Sure, loved it. Yeah, happy to do it.
Of course. Well, you guys have been super busy here at the Combine. You've got a set out there, out in the fan area. There's a lot going on at this Combine. What do you think of how it's just become an event this year?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's always been in Lucas Oil and it's very condensed. And now all of a sudden it's sort of this Super Bowl Radio Row media party. I think it's kind of fun. There's a little bit more space. You can kind of hang out. You can interact. We're having a conversation. Some fan listened to our podcast today, and he had us sign a piece of paper for him. Me and Pete Prisco and Jason Lockenfora.
You're famous.
Right, either that or that's the lowest moment of his life. I'm going with the latter. But yeah, I dig the setup. I don't think I loved it at first, but I'm starting to come around to it. I think NFL did a great job with it.
Well, the fans are really getting into that bench press over there by your side.
Yeah, and that coin flip, the coin toss, the big coin toss.
You had all the coverage of the coin toss.
A buddy from home texted me and said, "Man, you're a Deadspin correspondent," and my heart dropped because I was like, "Why am I on Deadspin? What have I done?" And as it turns out, they just embedded some tweets. But yeah, it was a cool moment for the coin toss.
Well, let's chat a little bit about the Lions while we have you here. What did you think of their 2016 season? What did you make of it?
I think the best word for it, honestly, was magical, because I thought that the stuff that they were pulling out late in games, you could just see Matthew Stafford really come alive, sort of develop into this clutch quarterback. He's always been clutch, but to do it week after week after week after week was just amazing. You lose in the fourth quarter, you have these comebacks, and I thought that sometimes you see these teams where maybe they shouldn't be winning every week, but they put things together and the energy kind of takes over. And I thought that it was effective, and it was really cool to see them play that way. Certainly when Matthew got hurt, I think it definitely altered the course of the season and made it tough to win, especially in Seattle. But a heck of a season for Detroit.
A lot of the talk this offseason is going to be on whether the Lions are going to re-sign Matthew Stafford. Do you think they do that, and do you think he earned that with his play this past season?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look, under Jim Bob Cooter, this guy has changed sort of, I think, the identity that we associate with Matthew Stafford. And he's had, we talked about this before, but he's had different stages of his career, and he's morphed into an MVP, a guy who's worthy of being in the MVP discussion when he's playing that well for 16 games. Critical piece of the franchise, the face of the franchise, a good Texas guy. Georgia, a little Southern action. Yeah, you got to sign. Yeah. To me, it's a no-brainer. You sign Matthew Stafford.
I think that's what a lot of us are expecting this offseason. Obviously, Combine here, so we're talking a lot about these prospects. Lions have the 21st pick. A lot of people say they should work on that defense with the 21st pick. Who are some guys you think they might keep an eye out for?
Yeah, this is a draft where defense is certainly in play, even down that far, because it's so deep with defensive players. I think it's interesting, though, with Larry Warford and Riley Reif hitting the market, we don't know how it's going to look for the Lions on the offensive line when they get there. This is not a good draft for offensive linemen in terms of top-end talent, but if you're the Lions, you can kind of look at a situation where Forrest Lamp is maybe there, a guard out of Western Kentucky, really talented guy, or Garrett Bowles, who ran a 4.97 as an offensive tackle here out of Utah. So they could revamp the offensive line there too. If they wanted to go defense, a lot of good cornerbacks. Sidney Jones, if he's available out of Washington, would be a nice pick. And I think you could ultimately, there's another coin toss, I'm sure. I think there's a lot of different ways you could go. The Lions certainly could focus on defense. There's some good pass rushers out there, multiple scheme guys. So yeah, I think they're in a good spot where they are, coming off, sometimes you get in that 20 range and you don't know if you're going to see a great player. I think Detroit can certainly get one.
All right, well, what current Lion do you think might have a big year in 2017?
I think that actually I know exactly who it is. Amir Abdullah. I loved him coming out of Nebraska. I thought he was going to be a fantastic player. Injury sort of derailed him. I think he has a bounce-back season and goes for 1,200 total yards.
Oh, wow. The Lions really want to improve their run game in 2017.
They need to, but he's a good guy that works in this sort of system where, he can be an explosive player that you put in space, that you let catch out of the backfield. Got to work on his fumbling a little bit, but I think he'll be a sleeper pick, at least in fantasy drafts.
It's a good pick. You heard it here first. Thank you so much, Will. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime.
That's Will Brinson from CBS Sports for DetroitLions.com. I'm Tori Petrie.